Okay, now I am continuing here discussion related to data modification. Okay, so how SQL will do the data modify, how it will modify the data. As we know that data is stored in hard disk. Okay, to this data need to modify. This is our requirement. Let us discuss how the SQL server doing this modification. Okay, now okay, what is we need to modify is we are modifying the employee table. In the employee table, checking that whose employees whose age is greater than 50, we need to increase salary 1 lakh by adding old salary to the 1 lakh. This the update query we need to do, but how our application it is doing internally. So first step is this is the hard disk. In the hard disk we have data files are there. In the data files, data pages something, and next is log file. Okay, then we have one place, you give any one name like engine. It is this here, this part come in inside the memory, this part came here in RAM, disk. So in engine, some component take the responsibility to add the or update the data. Okay, this component. Then before that, one data access component is there. This data access component will actually take the responsibility to give the data whatever required for this component, updation component. This is the core component, business component. Let us take this is data layer component. This like how our n layer architecture, we have one business object is there and data layer object is there. In the same manner we have data access component. This component responsibility is to get the data from hard disk. Okay, but in order to improve performance, we already have buffer pages. Then this is buffer pool. So then data access component first ask to the buffer manager, please give me the data whatever I need to update. This buffer manager will check whatever the data access component is asking, it is available or not in the buffer pool. If not available, it is fetching the data. Okay, and now data access layer giving this to the data to the component, and component take the responsibility for updation. Finally next reverse flow is happening. Okay, so I just explain here, not briefly, just casual explanation, rough explanation. One component doing for business requirement is updation of the data. Another component is fetching the data from hard disk. But one pool is there, this component to improve the performance, to avoid multiple fetching, it maintains some caches. Okay, in hard disk we have data file and log file. Okay, so our requirement is we need to update employee table whose what we are updating, salary to be 1k, and where age is greater than 50. Okay, to this requirement business application, first we go and check in hard disk what is the structure available for this table. Now in the hard disk, for the table, employee table, multiple pages are there. In this employee table occupy multiple pages in hard disk, but the age of the person which are greater than 50 are only 5 rows, contain 5 employees, okay, which are present in 3 pages, okay, which are present in 3 pages only, and 5 rows. That means in hard disk for this employee table multiple pages are there, but we need our data available in only 3 pages and then in 5 rows. Okay, so first step is buffer pool will take the responsibility to fetch these data pages. To those data pages, the business object need to do their modification. We know that from hard disk we are not reading the row, we are reading each, whenever little modification we are doing from hard disk, we are reading whole page, not a single row. It is not possible. So now 3 data pages will be available in the buffer pool, or we say buffer pool. Okay, then before that buffer manager is there. Actually it fetch the data pages based on the request from the data access, but it will update this data access layer that you whatever data you are requesting which are available. Okay, then after data access layer, now we are doing updation. So data access layer must need to take what logs. How many logs it need to take? So one is intent exclusive log for what table you are doing operation, which table. Then you need to take intent exclusive log for each page. Okay, then finally you need to take update log. Okay, these 3 logs you are need to take. I will explain later the responsibilities taken by each and individual log. Okay, but will here I just explain what is the purpose of update log. So update log make you provide that if multiple users need to read the data, okay, if exclusive log is there, not able to read, but if update log is there, then these users can able to read those data until actual changes will be happening. Up to certain duration the data is not yet updated. Okay, so that data can able to view by the different user if update log is there. If exclusive log is there, then no user can able to read the data. So there is a time taken until let us take, we have 10 rows we need to update. So for the one user which is doing updation of the 10 rows, but we have another users are there. We have another user who are reading the same data. Okay, let us take updation will be happening at first row. At the same time, different users are need to read the data. Then these contain update log. This one which is actual execution is there, that contain exclusive log. So by making updation log until the time will came to this first user who are updating the data to the respective row, up to that time the other user can able to read this data, instead of just wait for the first user to complete its operation. That make to these users low latency, means throughput will be low for this user and latency will be the high, performance will make slow. To avoid waiting for this user 2 and user 1 for this row, because user 1 is doing updation, so we make whatever data it is updated by the user 1, to that data only we are making exclusive log, that avoid the waiting time of these other users who are interested to read this whole data, whole rows. That makes the user can able to read these rows. Okay, that's why we are taking updation log until actual modification is doing. Okay, step 1 is, what is step 1? First step 1 is reading the data from the hard disk by the buffer manager. Then buffer manager will be update that to the data access component, that whatever data you require for updation, whose data files will be available in buffer manager. Then data access layer will get the initial logs like intent to exclusive log. I will in future after some duration I take exclusive log. Okay, before exclusive log it is taking updation log. The purpose is to make somewhat I actually this explained. So the concept I explained, that one is read committed isolation level. We'll explain different isolation level and transaction in other topic, other later lecture. So by default updation queries will create one transaction, implicit transaction, because here we are not giving any begin transaction quotation something. By default it create one implicit transaction, and default it is uses read committed isolation. Then next step is, what next step? Actual updation of the data.